If you're not subtracting outdated systems in your dental clinic, your clinic will eventually die due to stimulus overload. In this video, I'll talk about why subtracting from your system is actually very important and how to do it. And as a bonus, at the end, I'll explain what we trim to make our clinic as lean as possible. When I talk about removing outdated systems and items, I call it trimming the fat. Why? Because it helps me remember that our clinics have to be super lean in order to be super effective. In fact, it's not just me that thinks this way. We all know who Elon Musk is, right? Well, he's one of the richest men on the planet for a reason. It's because he's extremely efficient in his business. He asks himself, why does it cost $450 million to launch a rocket? And why not $60 million? And this type of thinking is trimming the fat. It starts with the process of deciding what can be cut, but still gets you to the same goal. His answer to the $400 million rocket problem? Trim ruthlessly. How did he get there? He stuck with one of his 5 major principles that says, if you're not adding back at least 10% of the things you deleted, then you didn't delete enough. In other words, if you only deleted a little, you probably just trimmed around the edges. If you deleted a lot, so much so that you accidentally removed a few important or helpful pieces, that's a sign that you are bold enough and aggressive enough with your cleanup. After that, you simply add just back 10% of the good, necessary parts that you might have over-deleted. Our world is constantly changing. New information, laws, technology, economics, patient habits, and it all shifts how we run business. For example, let's just say one of your front desk tasks is sending a happy birthday text message to your patients. Nice gesture, right? But think of the waste behind it. So you're paying your front desk person to search through your practice management software every single day to find those birthdays. When it's all said and done, the time it takes costs about $500. And let's be real, that's a huge time and money sink. Hours spent digging through lists when he or she could be doing something that actually grows your practice. Listen, you could automate the whole thing with just $50 a month and free up the front desk time so they can focus on real patient engagement. The kind of work that actually drives growth and not endless birthday list searches. But here's the thing, you kind of have to remind yourself to do this process. It's not a natural thing for people to do. At least, it's not for me. So at Clear Lake Dental, we prioritize scheduled review meetings to cut the clutter. We audit everything: patient interaction systems, training docs, reimbursement schedules, time-consuming procedures, and team feedback. If your office is overloaded with processes and tools, it's inefficient. It will clog up your system and you'll have too many dental cooks in the dental kitchen. Speaking of kitchens, let's think about it like restaurants. Have you ever seen a restaurant that serves like 100 dishes? Is that cool? Hell yeah, it is. But is it cool from a business standpoint? Hell no, it's not. So they will have all the ingredients to make 100 dishes, but think about the inventory, think about the expiration dates of the ingredients. Instead, why not just go super lean, like having 4 items on the menu? Take Raising Cane's for an example. Each Raising Cane's location has about 5 items on their menu. On average, it generates $5.7 million. Then you got your 100-dish restaurant that will generate about $1 million, if that, and I'm being generous. And that is how we have to think about dental business. Also, Raising Cane's is good and all, but you know, Popeyes is better. So let's get into some real-world examples for our dental practices. First, CLD clinics don't use cassettes. They're clunky, a waste of space and money. Plus, we don't use half the stuff in these cassettes. I truly think it's one of the biggest scams in dental history. I legitimately don't know why cassettes are used. It's dumb. And apologies if I offended some of you, but it's the truth. Think about it objectively. Think about trimming the fat. Oh, and here's another one. Why do dentists still use slow speeds? Personally, I only use high-speed handpieces, and that's it. So what's the point of a slow speed? If you can control the rheostat, that's good enough for me. I've done just fine without slow speeds, and so have a lot of dentists that I talk to as well. All slow speeds do is add to your costs, like more sterilization, double the burrs, extra team training, and even more inventory to manage. The toll on your practice? Way too high. Trim that fat. You know what? While we're at it, I'll give you one more. Do you use periosteal elevators when doing extractions? Why? Oh, it's to separate the tissues. What? Don't worry, I used to think the same thing. While in dental school, I met with a group of oral surgeons. They told me to go straight to forceps. Me, being the naive little D4 at the time, I asked, but isn't that illegal? I was taught to use the periosteal elevator. At that time, they looked at each other and they started laughing. I will never forget that day. Thank God that happened because now my average teeth extraction speed is less than 2 minutes per tooth. So what does it actually do for us? Let's break it down. 1. Fewer tools to mess with. 2. Faster for the patient, in, out, and done. 3. Less training. Your assistant doesn't need to know what a periosteal elevator even is. 4. Less sterilization. 5. We're not wasting any money buying tools that actually suck anyways. And number 6, it saves time and cash. So what do we call that? That's right, trimming the fat. The dental world is evolving fast. Procedures are getting quicker, more efficient, and often requires less of the standard equipment and methods that we've been taught to rely on. Automation and new technologies are transforming how we work, giving us the opportunity to streamline operations and truly trim the fat. It gives us the space to optimize our methods to continue and improve. The key is taking a moment to truly catalog what you currently have, especially if you're not sure of what's slowing you down. By embracing these changes and adapting thoughtfully, you'll not only improve efficiency, but it also creates a clinic that's leaner, smarter, and ready for the future. There are plenty of ways to trim the fat. Start by eliminating processes that aren't adding value to your clinic. See you in the next video. Peace out.